Hello guys, welcome to our business mathematics subject. Our lesson for today is going deeper to solving proportions. So we have direct and inverse proportions, and may idadagdag lang tayo dyan mamaya, which is the partitive proportion. So una, we have the directly proportional we have the direct proportions. Two quantities x and y are said to be in direct proportion if they increase or decrease together in such a manner that the ratio of their corresponding values remains constant. That is, x is to y is equal to k, where k is the positive number if x and y are in direct proportion or vary directly. In case of direct proportion, if y is to y2 are the values of y, corresponding to the values of x1 is to x2 of x respectively, then x sub 1 is to y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 is over or is to y sub 2. So that is the directly or direct proportion. So let's have an example of direct proportion. So it says here, if x and y are directly proportional and when x is 13, y is 39. Which of the following is not a possible pair of corresponding values of x and y? So, try natin. So, isa-isahin natin, although we have the answer na dito, pero kailangan nating i-prove bakit ang answer is C. So, it says here, not a possible pair of corresponding values of x and y. So when we say x is directly proportional, so dapat meron tayong, again, so we have x1 sub y1 is to x2 as to y2. Okay. So, we have a given dito na x sub 1 is 13, again, over y sub 1 is 39. So, unang option is 1 is to 3. So, we have is to 1 is to 3. To check whether they are directly proportional, you just need to cross multiply them. So you have 13 times 3, that is 39. 39 times 1, that is 39. So parehas ang kanilang product. So that is possible pair of corresponding values of x and y. Next option is letter B. We have 17 and 51. So again, 13 over 39 as to 17 over 51. Ayan. So, cross multiply, you have 13 times 51. That is 663 over 39 times 17. That is also 663. So, proportion din sila. Letter C is 30 and 10. So, we should again write 13 over 39 is to 30 is to 10. So, cross multiply 13 times 10. That is 1,130. 39 times 30, you have 39 times 30, that's 1,170. So hindi sila proportion. And lastly, we have 13 over 39. Our last option is 6 and 18. So we have 6 over 18. So again, cross multiply 13 times 18. That is 234 over 6 times 39. That is 234. So they are directly proportional. Next, we have the inverse proportion. So inverse proportion, two quantities x and y are said to be inverse proportion if an increase in x causes a proportional decrease in y and vice versa, in such a manner that the product of their corresponding values remains constant. That is, xy is equal to k, where k is a positive number, if x and y are in inverse proportion. In this case, if y sub 1 and y sub 2 are the values of y corresponding to the values x sub 1 and x sub 2 of x respectively, then x sub 1 times y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 times y sub 2, or x sub 1 over x sub 2 is equal to y sub 1 and y sub 2. So kung i-compare natin kanina, ito yung direct proportion. So we have direct proportion. Ang inverse naman ay mapapansin natin, we have x sub 1 over x sub 2 equal siya sa y sub 1 over y sub 2. So you compare, kung dito x sub 1 over y sub 1 is to x sub 2 over y sub 2, sa inverse naman you have x sub 1 over x sub 2 is equal to y sub 1 over y sub 2. So let's take an example. Madalas naman sasabihin naman ng problem kung inverse proportion sila. So we have here an example on example number 9. Ayan. Or sorry, in example number 10. In a scout camp, there is food provision for 300 cadets for 42 days. If 50 more persons join the camp, for how many days will the provision last? So kung intindihin natin, sa isang kampo daw merong allotted na 300 or merong pang 300 na tao sa 42 araw. Ngayon, kung nagdagdag ka ng 50 tao, ibig sabihin magkukulang na siya sa 42 days. Kaya dapat, or ang i-expect natin na sagot, yung pagkain magiging enough na lang siya so far. So for how many days? Yun yung sa tanong. So we have here our x sub 1. So identify lang natin, we have x sub 1 is equal to 300 cadets yan. So ang nawawala natin is x sub 2. So we have y sub 1 is equal to 350 pala. X sub 2 kapag nag-increase. So you have 350. Y sub 1 is 42 days. So dito 300 is to 42. So y sub 2 ay ito yung unknown natin. So kung susundin lang natin yung formula na yon, you have 300 over 350. Yan. So you have 300 over 350 as 2 42 over something. So again, kung intindihan natin yung question, sa 300 na tao kayang pakainin in 42 days, pero pag naging 350 yung tao, pang ilang araw na lang yung kanilang pagkain. So inverse proportion. So we have so kung ang gagawin natin dito, susundin natin yung kanina, yung sa formula. So 350 times 42. So, ang gagawin natin, we have 300 times 42 is equal to 350 times yung unknown, which is x. Ayan. So 300 times 42, that is equal to 1,000 or 12,600. So to get your x, so yan yung x. So you have 350x. So divide that with 350. 350. You have 36 days. So 36 days na lang yung kayang na lang matitira na kayang pakainin yung 350 na tao. So again, yun yung relationship. So kung sa direct you have x sub 1 over y sub 1 is to x sub 2 over y sub 2. Sa inverse naman, parehas na x, you have x sub 1 is to x sub 2, y sub 1 is equal to y sub 1 over y sub 2. So kung titignan natin dito, you have pinag-multiply natin yung 350 ayan, sa 42 over 300. So dito kasi pwede natin siyang i-express yan ng x sub 1 multiplied by y sub 2 is equal to x sub 2 multiplied by y sub 1. The same is true with direct. Pwede mo din yan sulat yan na x sub 1 sorry. X sub 1 over x sub 2 okay, sorry. Mali pala. So dito, kapag ka sinabing direct, you cross multiply. So you have x sub 1 times y sub 2 is equal to x sub 2 multiplied by y sub 1. Dito naman, kapag inverse, diretso lang yung multiplication nyo. So you have x sub 1 multiplied by y sub 1 is equal to x sub 2 multiplied by y sub 2. So kung titignan natin dito kanina, 300, you have your 300 times 42 over 350 times yung unknown. So yun yung difference ng direct and inverse. Now let's go to yung partitive proportion. So partitive proportion, so it says here, we wish to divide a total amount into two or more terms that satisfy a given ratio. To determine the amount for each term, we can write down the fraction that each term represents in relation to the whole. These fractions can be multiplied to the total amount to obtain the corresponding quantity for each term. So ito naman halimbawa ay kapag ka naghati-hati kayo sa pizza, for example. So we have here a pizza. So hinati natin yan into, for example, 8. Pero tatlo lang kayo. So 3 packs lang kayo. Ngayon si first na tao number 1, nagbayad siya ng 30. Si number 2 na tao nagbayad siya ng 90. So, si tao number 3, nagbayad siya ng 120. Ngayon, ang pizza ay nagkakahalaga ng 1,000 pesos. Yan. Mahal yung pizza kasi sa Yellow Cab galing. Yan. So, 1,000 pesos. So, magkano ang babayaran ni person 1, person 2, and person 3? So, yun yung partitive proportion. So, hahatiin natin ngayon yan. So, you have, again, so, we have 30, ilang parts ang mapupunta ka sa kanya, 90, ilang parts ang mapupunta sa kanya, and 120, ilang parts yung mapupunta sa kanya. So, kukunin lang natin, we have your total is 30 plus 90 plus 120 is 240. So si person number 1 sa kanya ay 30 over 240. Si person number 2 ay 90 over 240. Si person number 3 ay 120 over 240. So to simplify that, you have what? 30 divided by 240, that is 0.125. Si 90 naman ay 90 divided by 240, that is 0.375. So, ang natitira kay person number 3 ay 0.50. So, ngayon, ito yung mga shares naman ngayon nila ng babayaran. So, dito makikita natin ang babayaran niya ay 12.5%. Dito naman ay 37.5%. At ang babayaran, ang makukuha niya ay 50%. So, kalahati ng pizza mapupunta kay person number 3. Yan. Tapos, 1 part, 12.5%, mapupunta kay person number 1. At itong tatlong ito, mapupunta kay person number 2. So, yun yung partitive proportion. So, you have your exercises dito sa inyong modules. So, may mga examples pa dyan. And then, you have your practice exercise. Ayan. So, exercise C hanggang you have your 25. Meron pang katuloy yan. Hanggang 100. 6. Yan. So, may mga puzzles and games pa na naka-provide dyan. So, that's all for our proportions subject or lesson. So, by now, meron parating na inyong quiz or natanggap nyo na siguro yung quiz ninyo. Kapag may sasagutan nyo yan and then isasubmit nyo and then we'll discuss it sa susunod nating video conference. So if you have questions and clarifications about proportions, you have your direct proportions, inverse proportions, and partitive proportions, you can directly message me through my Facebook account or message at our group chat. Thank you and God bless.